Good morning and welcome back to White Mountain Today here on White Mountain TV 16. Joining us in the studio, the man in white, Bud Selmi from Margarita Grill. Bud, how are you today?
I'm doing great. It's a little crisp this morning.
A little crisp. That's a good way to put it this morning, but a beautiful morning. And so let's talk about Margarita Grill. Let's go back in time a little.
Okay.
And you've been working at Margarita Grill for how many years now?
16 part-time. I was the general manager as of last September. And then as of June 5th of this year, we purchased Margarita Grill.
And one of the things that I know that a lot of people asked, they were like, oh, new owners. What does that mean for Margarita Grill? And I don't want to say it means nothing, but what it means is that you were able to continue with all the great things that Margarita Grill is known for.
Well, we've been focusing on farm to table for the past 3 years. We use Northeast family farms, Maine family farms. All of our seafood comes out of the Gulf of Maine. We also use Sherman Farms, White Gate Farms down in Tamworth, and Pork Hill down in Ossipee for our local produce.
And that's one of the things that people, that's, I don't want to say it's a trend because that's not the right word to use, but people like the farm to table. They want that. And when they know that they can go to a place and be pretty much assured that that's what they're going to get, it makes a big difference.
It does. Not to knock the chain restaurants, however, most of their food is processed, and we feature fresh farm-to-table food.
And it makes a big difference.
It does.
People are, they see that, they come in, and I can't tell you the number of people who said to me, oh, that's why we came here, because it's farm-to-table.
Well, it's definitely important. That's what I think folks are looking for these days. So it's definitely an important fact. We just brought in 800 pounds of butternut squash, so that will carry us through the winter. We also
Was that one giant squash, or there was a bunch of little ones?
It's a bunch of little ones.
Okay, it's a little worried there.
So we also just did a farm-raised deer. We brined it and smoked it, and we've been featuring that on our menu.
Great. I think one of the things that people don't realize is that you can taste the difference between fresh food and processed food, but you don't realize that because we're very used to what we eat. But then when you taste the freshness, especially in the vegetables and everything else, people are like, wow.
Yeah, it definitely does make a difference.
And so one of the other things too, and we got to talk about that and talk about fresh, is Margarita Grill. It's in the name, and margaritas, fresh margaritas.
Well, we use all fresh juices in our margaritas, which we also do a margarita of the month, and it's a summer harvest for the month of September. Not sure exactly what we're going to be doing for October yet, but I'm sure we have a recipe already figured out.
I thought when you said you hadn't quite figured out, I thought you hadn't quite figured out what was in the margarita yet, so you kept trying them, All right, if I got to try another one, I'll see you try to figure out what's in there.
Well, that's an important thing is we do have to taste test everything, whether it's the fresh food that we're producing or the margaritas, so that we make sure we get it right.
Absolutely. And so we're looking at some of the photos here of Margarita Grill, a bunch of people enjoying the food there. I think it's a good place for babies too. There's one of those margaritas. That looks like, what do you think that was? Probably blueberry or something maybe in that one?
That probably was a blueberry. That was in July.
So one of those summer margaritas.
Yep.
So what do you got planned for the winter?
Well, we're doing, like I said, we just brought in a lot of butternut squash. So we're going to be featuring that on our fall salad for the upcoming months. And we've been doing some butternut bisque, and we're going to move into some more wintry dishes. We ran, for the summer, we did chilled soups. So now as fall's progressing, we're going to go back to hot soups.
Gonna heat them up.
Heat them up.
There you go. Now, one of the other things too about Margarita Grill, and I don't know if it's in the video that shows it, but it's a great restaurant, kind of a quaint style and everything else. But then you also have the porch.
Yep.
So there's a lot of room, and it's deceptive because you wouldn't think that there's as much room in Margarita Grill.
Well, we actually seat 122 at a time with the patio, and we seat out on the patio during the winter time because that's all insulated and heated. So that really helps with the flow of for the kitchen and the restaurant.
Absolutely. And when there's, the patio is great. You've got a bigger group or whatever, plenty of room out there. So that makes it you don't have to worry about, do we have enough room for our 6 people? There's plenty of room.
Yeah, we actually booked the patio for parties in the fall and the wintertime. In the summertime, it's a little too busy for additional parties, but we have a party coming up of 50 people. It's a birthday celebration for someone's 80th birthday.
That's terrific.
Yep.
That's terrific. And one of the other things, and not one of the other things about Margarita Grill too, and I would say that the majority of restaurants in the Mount Washington Valley are this way, but it's kid-friendly.
Yeah.
Absolutely kid-friendly. You got a great kids menu, great variety of things on there. So how do you decide what's going to go on a kids menu?
Well, we want to make sure that it's healthy. We offer healthy sides. We have grapes and oranges and strawberries. Strawberries are going to be going away because we're moving into the winter time, but we want to try to make it as healthy as possible.
And parents appreciate that.
They do. They really do.
They want to know that their kids are going to get something they'll eat, the mac and cheese, but then also have the
some healthy sides.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of a nice thing. And Sherman Farm milk.
Sherman Farm milk doesn't get any better than that. Every time my grandson comes, he says, Jack says he wants to have Sherman Farm milk.
There you go, and it comes out in the bottles, and it's a great presentation. So, any other new specials you think you're going to try to pull out? Something that we're going to go, I got to go?
Well, we were, this summer, we were doing a crispy pork belly taco, and that sold really well. We feature scallop tacos quite often, so we have a taco of the day on our menu, and that works really well. The other thing I wanted to mention is we are part of the Valley Originals, which is important because the Valley Originals gives back to the Valley and focuses on helping different charities. We just recently did Jen's Friends at Cranmore, and Valley Originals was an important part of funding that as well.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this out to you. So if you today, and you went there tonight, what are you gonna have for dinner?
Well, we're featuring tonight. We're having venison enchiladas. Venison enchiladas with some chanterelle mushrooms, and we'll also have tenderloin tip tacos.
So a couple things. So if you're hungry for today, now are you open for lunch today?
We are.
You are open.
Saturdays and Sundays we're open. We open at noon, and the rest of the week we open at 4.
And as I said, again, plenty of room to go in there and enjoy it. Tonight would be, you know what tonight would be a good night for? Is to go to Margarita Grill, get your margarita, and then when the solar eclipse happens, leave your margarita inside and go out and watch the solar eclipse because you can watch it right over the field there.
That would be awesome.
I would think. So there you go.
And then you can go back in and finish your margarita.
That's right. Or have another one.
Yeah.
Or however that might work. Well, Bud, thanks so much. So if people want some more information, you've got a great website.
Yep.
Which is?
MargaritaGrillNH.com.
So it's very easy to find. We were looking at some photos from it just a moment ago. And how do you describe where you're located?
Well, we're just about a quarter of a mile from the junction in Glen at the lights.
Heading west.
Heading west on Route 302.
And plenty of parking.
Plenty of parking. And like I say, we're farm to table and very accommodating, and we hope everybody stops by and has a lot of fun.
I'm sure they will. Bud, thanks so much for coming down today.
Alrighty.
And we'll see you at Margarita Grill.
Maine's Blue Ribbon Classic, Sunday, October 4th.